Rates. Introduction. The rates in Clock Evolution are sets of conditions and prices used for charging guests during their stay in the hotel. All guests are charged by a rate, so no guests can be checked in before the rates have been created. There are two types of rates in Clock Evolution, for basic and for extra services. They are organized in groups for easier search and management. On installation, there is one rate in the system, extra, where the extra service rate is found. It is not recommended to include other rates in this group. The rate groups are created by users before any rates have been created. The extra service rate lists all extra services offered in the hotel which have the user's rate price box checked. On installation, there is one extra service rate. Additional extra service rates cannot be created. However, various price periods can be created within the extra services rate, setting different prices for the services. These price periods are activated automatically on their first date. The basic services rates describe the prices for different room types depending on the season, number of guests in the room, special discounts, etc. New basic services rate can be created on necessity. There are two types basic services rates, simple and more complex. Simple rates are simplified basic services rates which allow defining basic parameters for check-in and charging. They can also be used for simple cases like discounts for children or adults, different prices for different days of the week, etc. The more complex rates are used for extras, percentage discounts for early birds, additional packages, etc. In multi-hotel system, the rates for each hotel are set separately. However, in cases when the same or very similar rates are used in more than one hotel, the system allows exporting rates between hotels. The rates are copied with their original names. Before they can be used, all values in the drop-down menus must be confirmed. Rates for basic services are created in two steps: creating the rate and defining its conditions. Handling a rate requires edit rate right granted. To create a simple rate, click the edit link. Start with the rate groups. New. Opens the rate edit screen. Click rate groups. In the rate groups preview and edit screen, click New. Name. Enter a name for the group, for example, business. Click Save. All rate groups can be created now or on necessity. When you create all the groups you want, click Close. Now you can create the rate itself. Step 1. Create the rate. In the rate edit screen, fill in the fields. Template. Select New Simple Rate. Name. Enter a name for the rate. Group. Select the group in which the new rate will be included. Currency. Select the currency the new rate will use. Special tax policy. If the rate allows different tax policy for some services, define the alternative policy here. For every night after, specify when the alternative tax policy is used. Archived. Leave the box unchecked to be allowed to use the rate. Note: if necessary, enter a description or other note to the rate. Save. Step 2. Specify the conditions. Saving the rate opens the window for defining its conditions. The upper part of the screen shows its characteristics: name, group, currency, note. Complete the fields that follow accordingly. Define which guests are charged as children. In the field Age Children, enter the age of the oldest child allowed. Archive. Leave the box unchecked to be allowed to use the rate. Seasons. Each season is defined in a separate table. Use the New Season link to insert the necessary tables. In the season screen, complete the fields. Name. Enter the name of the season. Periods. Use the New Period button to insert a row and enter the dates for it. Each period in a season is defined in a separate row. Important: if you type the dates manually, make sure they are in format day, month, year. Special prices for. If the rates offer special prices for certain days of the week, for example the weekend, tick the respective boxes. Board prices. If you want the board to be posted separately, specify here the prices for each board the rate will serve in this season. The price specified later in the season table is a sum of the board price and the price of the night. Important: use decimal point if needed, not comma. Confirm. The newly defined season appears in the rate screen with its name, periods, and board price if any. Setting prices. The price for each room type and board is set individually in separate rows. To insert these rows, use the room type and board combinations link. In the window that opens, select all the boards and room types that the rate will use. Confirm the selection with Save. Each combination is shown in the table of each season. Special prices also appear in separate rows. Important: use decimal point if needed, not comma. The first three cells of the seasons table shows the room type, the board, and the type of price, basic or special, respectively. In the rest of the cells, enter a price for each desired combination of guests. If there is no price for a certain set of conditions, it is not offered by the rate. Single use. Enter a price if single use is allowed. Guest double room. Enter a price for the first and second adult for multiple occupancy. Third guest. Enter a price for the third adult in room. In the next field, enter a price for the fourth or the next adult in room. In the next field, enter a price for the first child if there is one adult in the room. In the next field, enter a price for the second or the next child if there is one adult in the room. In the next field, enter a price for the first child if there are two or more adults in the room. In the next field, enter a price for the second or next child if there are two or more adults in the room. Use the arrow keys to move to the next cell, up, down, left or right. Save the new rate with Save.